Whichever of our Buckling the Swash movies is your favorite, we can all agree an actual scurvy dog would be really sad in real life.
Aw.
I know, right? Corey, drive that beat. Welcome to More Gooder Than.
What's up, Home Tree?
What? Marty is stupid. Boom.
Marty, you moron. Have a good time. I actually very great.
1,000 years. Anyways.
We're not on tangent. This is feels credible.
Consider that a
Avast me hearties and welcome to More Gooder Than, where we rate and dissect pop culture one episode at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Brayton. I'm joined by my co-host, Corey Sasso.
Ahoy.
And Donnie the doubloony Carr.
Ye scurvy dog.
For those of you joining us for the first time here at MGT, Corey, Donnie, and I each take sides on a predetermined movie trio and try and sway the world to agree with our opinions on which one is most goodest. And today, we're still at Bakersfield Escape Rooms, recording in front of a live audience of one.
They might be watching us on the monitor.
I know they are watching us on the monitor. No, there's actually lots of people here, but like they're just not in the room with us.
Yeah.
So fresh off of our victory, spoiler alert if you haven't listened to last week's goodie bag, we did win.
Yeah.
But was there any doubt? In our the Crimson Storm room, which is pirate themed.
39 minutes and 57 seconds.
So good.
Right?
I think so. We had 20 minutes and 2 seconds
2003,
left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did I do math right?
You did maths.
You did the maths.
You did the maths. The room we were given was a pirate theme. The Crimson Storm. Oh, Alec Baldwin came in. Did you guys see that? Alec Baldwin came in and just said Crimson Storm. It's amazing. I'm so glad he
Just popped his head in and said it and then left.
Hey.
Oh, he's back.
I'm 60 years old and I have an infant.
Spot on, Baldwin.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Well, I mean,
true.
it's him. Like, of course, he sounds like himself.
Yes. It's living hell. I'm 60 years old. I have to get up 3 times a night to pee, and I still have. So I just get up and help the other little one pee. Oh, man. Peeing is. The shadow! So we thought it would only be fitting to make the episode Buccaneer themed as well. So we hoisted the anchor and chose Captain Blood, 1935, Cutthroat Island, and Pirates of the Caribbean. There's more than one. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. And to help us break these down, the mother flipping Galindo stayed in
The house.
Yeah, just
On deck.
I was overboard. You guys threw the line out for me, and then here I am.
Yeah.
You can be our cabin boy.
Plankly, I'm not going to stand for any puns.
So you noticed that I walked in with a steering, the captain's wheel.
Yeah.
Right on my nards area.
I did actually. I was focused in on that.
Why?
Drives me nuts.
Well, we should mention that.
Donnie said that joke to me earlier and I stole it. He's so mad. What?
No, you just didn't sell it.
I wasn't trying to.
I
was trying to make you angry.
When the bartender asked
mission
the pirate,
accomplished right now.
When the bartender asked the pirate why there was a steering wheel on his crotch, he says, it's been driving me nuts.
Yeah. The joke is that I was screwing with Donnie and it worked. So,
Everybody knows that joke.
Yeah. What do you got?
Oh, I was just going to say, you're wearing like your captain shirt. You got little ship wheels on it.
So I had another shirt that I was going to wear.
Yeah.
It had like parrots on it, and like, but I looked at the picture from the last time we did the escape room.
Same shirt.
Wore that
I'm
shirt.
wearing that shirt. I'm like, I can't make this my escape room shirt,
Right? Yeah.
Because they might post the picture.
Donnie's wearing a Goonies shirt. Goonies Never Say Die. And it's got
I got your Crown Royal.
I got Crown Royal, which a lot of these movies, well, all 3 of these movies take
Port
place
Royal.
around Port Royal.
Yeah.
So this was a happy accident.
No, and he's wearing. Taco's good out here. From the TV.
From TV. Taco from TV.
Taco from the TV. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Isn't it great when in the next arc? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, screw you guys.
At the very end.
At the very end when this thing
Taco
happens.
dies.
Yeah. When Taco dies.
Move on. Just move along.
The angels. So who's flying the flag for each movie? Find out in this corner. You're just being a privateer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can be my team if you want. I am team Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
I love that movie.
It's so good, right? It's really good. Corey, what do you got?
Well, mine's last. I got last pick, so Donnie, go for it.
I got Captain Blood.
Yeah. And I'm left over with Cutthroat Island.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. I didn't
is that
mind.
what you messed up the order?
Well, that's because I let you guys pick. I was being gracious this time because I didn't mind it. It wasn't terrible.
You got Blair Witch last week.
I didn't pick Captain Blood. I claimed it.
So sit back, relax, drink some rum, have some citrus to fight off the scurvy because you need vitamin C, and let us show you the goods.
It's good.
We're in like Flynn on this quickie with Big D.
Captain Blood. Courageous tale highlighting the harsh plight of handsome white men in 17th century Jamaica.
Yeah.
So your quickies have been fantastic lately. They really have been.
I am just so happy that I got to foist an Errol Flynn movie onto you guys. I love Errol Flynn. I love how snappy the dialogue is. I love how like these Errol Flynn movies hold the fuck up. Like
for
now.
sure.
I
This
was
is our oldest movie.
So,
It's one of the best we've done.
Galindo, have you seen it?
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, so Captain Blood is
So I said, because we were trying to figure out a third movie for our pirates, because there's not a whole lot of pirate movies.
there's
really
not a whole lot of
Not like
mainstream
straight
ones.
up like classic.
there's
pirate-
not a whole lot of these
so we're looking for a third.
good pirate movies.
Well, we still don't have those in our set today, but so we had two that were for sure. Pirates of the Caribbean is obvious. We just want to do the first one.
Yeah.
Cutthroat Island was kind of a flop back in the 90s.
But it was an obvious
It
big.
was an obvious choice, yeah. It
Pirate
had some
movie.
big stars in it. So we're like, what's the third? And I was like, well, why don't we do the movie that was in the Goonies movie that they were watching, that everything was kind of like based on.
right. And Donnie says, "Oh, that's Captain Blood."
And he says Captain Blood. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So the whole time I'm watching Captain Blood, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the scene where he puts the knife in his teeth and stands there, and he sticks it in the sail and
It says, "Hey, you guys!"
yeah, it says, hey, you guys. Yeah, Sloth wasn't there. No, but actually, that movie is a composite of 3 different movies.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Captain Blood. It's another one. I can't remember what it is. It's like see something.
I didn't even
Cecil.
hear you say the movie they were watching, The Goonies. I just suggested Captain Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they never say die
That
either.
iconic music that's very piratey from the Goonies. It actually is from Don Juan or something like that. Some other movie that's not a pirate.
So
that was interesting.
this Captain Blood movie, it's 83 years old.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very entertaining.
There's some stuff that are dated, like they have so Galindo, they have every so often they'll just put up a card with words on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like explaining
exposition. Yeah.
Even though they're completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But they're just like, make sure that you yokels in 1935 knew what was happening.
You got to remember that talkies are still new at this point.
Oh, absolutely. But
They had to transition people from reading to listening. So
I loved when he was like strapped to the torture stake, or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're about to beat him, and then like the Spanish ship comes in and is like blowing up the town. And he's like, "Oh, that's what I call fortuitous timing." And then like the card is fortuitous timing.
So Errol Flynn would still 100% be an A-lister today.
absolutely.
He is quick. He's a great. He does all his own stunts, right?
I had to. This is the first Errol Flynn movie my wife had seen.
It's
I
my
had to
first
listen
one,
to
too.
her sighing the whole time that he was on
like
screen.
fanning
just
herself, like,
oh wow.
F that guy.
she's getting all uncomfortable and crossing her legs.
One of the best lines ever
like, "Don't
in a
touch me."
movie. One of the best lines ever in a movie was uttered in Captain Blood, and it's when he's talking to the guy that's supposed to be watching the boat.
Yeah.
And he
The
says,
ship's carpenter.
and he says, "Hey, I need a piece of wood." He says about this big, but this way he's making like 1.5 feet. He says, "Strap it to your back. It needs straightening or strengthening or something like that."
Yeah. He's just like his clever quipping. He's the guy's having second thoughts about waiting at the boat. And he's
Yeah.
like, I need you to procure one more item for me. Can you get me a piece of wood about yay long by yay wide? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, good. He goes, what then? Attach it to your spine, friend. It needs strengthening.
There you go. It's like, and you're just like, yeah,
Zing!
get some Errol Flynn. And this is his first like big movie. Like he was not a bankable star at this
Yeah,
point.
this was like his first big Hollywood thing.
And then Olivia de Havilland. This is her first big one too.
And
as
they're
well.
first together,
The two
and
of
they
them
would
went
go
on to
on
do,
to
like,
have
9
like
different
7 or
movies.
8. Yeah,
Robin Hood. They did the Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
And then anyway,
bunch of others. She's still alive.
really?
Yeah.
What did Errol Flynn die of? Please say
Old
syphilis.
age.
Yeah, I was going to,
Scurvy.
I know he died. Yeah, he was like
Ironically.
50.
Ironically, he died of scurvy. So scurvy is an extreme lack of vitamin C in the body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds horrible.
Your teeth fall out.
Yeah, I know that's why they called British soldiers limeys.
Sailors.
Soldiers too. I don't know. I'm saying he's right, sailors. So the tone the tone got really.
So Captain Blood, he's a doctor. He's an Irish doctor.
Who does not have an Irish accent.
No, he gets busted like helping a friend of his who's wounded in the revolution against
just
King
a common man.
James.
He didn't know the person.
Rebellion.
That was the
against
whole
King
thing.
James.
Is that he's such an upstanding.
He knew.
Yeah.
The
You
think
guy
so?
was no. They said it a couple times.
He knew he was a rebel.
The guy who came to him knew who Peter Blood was, the doctor, and he knew that Peter Blood was down to just help anybody.
Yeah.
But I think the whole point was that he didn't know these
Dr.
people.
Blood
He wasn't a
definitely
part
know.
of the rebellion.
No,
He definitely knew that it was a rebel, though. No,
I stand alone.
but seriously, no. Galindo's with you.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's
so
by
he
your
gets
side,
sold into slavery.
as you do when you do something wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so
Well,
he's
it's based on actual events.
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
The stories, yeah.
So he's purchased in
True
Port
story.
Royal by Olivia de Havilland. I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
The uncle.
Arabella Bishop.
Arabella Bishop.
Hello, uncle.
So he quickly kind of gets the run of the island because he's a doctor. He takes over doctoring the governor and curing his gout.
Who's got the gouts?
Yeah.
He's got the bad gout. So gout is a heightening of the uric acid in
It's
your
like
body.
a rich man's illness that you get from eating like really rich food.
Yeah.
It's secure the gouts.
Very
Yeah.
painful. My dad had it for a while.
So
Oh,
the
really?
first half of the movie, he's kind of securing all his buddies' escape.
We're getting a full recap.
Yeah.
We haven't had a full recap in a long time.
Well, because I know no listener has
it's
seen
true,
this.
yeah.
So
Let's go scene by scene.
yeah.
It's on Daily Motion.
So
Opening title card. What does it say?
So the Spaniards attack and they take advantage of that moment to actually steal the Spaniard ship while they're all onshore plundering. So he and his fellow slaves take over this ship and they just start pirating. They pirate for years.
And they're really good at
Yeah,
it.
they're
too.
super successful.
They're
Never
super
get caught.
good.
Get tons of money. But he's
And-
still like an upstanding man. Like he sets like a pirate code.
Yeah, he's
where, like,
got
you can't like take
articles.
women. Yeah.
So everything ever made after this movie comes from this movie.
Yeah.
This is what made pirates good in all of our minds.
They
Yeah.
had, yeah, no,
when they
well,
really were bad dudes.
So,
Like they just went around like,
using
raping and
Tortuga.
pillaging everybody.
So using Tortuga, using Port Royal, the Caribbean itself, and everything, and then the marooning on an island with a pistol and one shot.
Well, there's a lot of common themes in all these. Like, there's always a situation where they sneak on board a ship and commandeer it.
Awesome.
Always like a broadside cannon on cannon shot.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
In every movie, one of the last ship explodes completely. Like they
Yarg.
they hit the powder and blow the
Yeah.
whole thing up. So there's all these like these key notes that you got to hit. These
Let's
beats.
talk CGI. There's fucking none in this movie because it was made in 1935.
There is.
So those pirate ships
all
blow the
miniatures.
shit out of each other.
They
They
were
were so obviously miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great.
at one point there's they basically commandeer a Spanish ship that's attacking Port Royal.
Yeah.
We all know Port Royal from Pirates of the Caribbean. Because we're not 83 years old.
I might be.
That's true. You might wait. Are you Richard Bachman?
Yeah.
I actually was sitting there
Oh,
trying to
wait, shout
remember.
out to Morgan. Keeping it going.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to think. It's like we've all played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is like one of the best
Yeah.
pirating games.
We even said, you even said like, hey, let's just talk about Assassin's
That could
Creed
be- that could be our third one.
Black
Yeah.
Flag could be our third
Because
one.
it's so good, and just watching these makes me want to go back and play it
Have
again.
you played
Yeah.
it, Galindo?
Yeah, actually I have.
Oh, it's an incredible
It's the
game.
best Assassin's Creed there is.
Like just your boat, spending hours and hours.
Yeah.
Just
I'm not going to fulfill these contracts. I just want to pirate the seas.
That was
Exactly.
that was my first and still the only Assassin's Creed game I've ever played.
Yeah, you're
and
good.
yeah, it was just
Yeah, you're
all
good,
it was
bud.
Grand Theft
all
Auto,
downhill from here.
Golden
Yeah.
Age of Pirates. I'm on my boat. I'm out stealing.
don't even
shit.
try any other ones.
Was
I-
there a story?
a really good story.
I do have to say you should play Syndicate. Syndicate is incredible. It's one set in Industrial Revolution
Yes.
area.
I feel like we have the Assassin's Creed talk like once every like maybe 9
right.
to 12
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
We've had this like the this is like the
really?
third
It's
time.
similar,
times
it's
a
similar
year.
when you guys want me to play Eve when you guys are playing Eve. So Eve, what you do is it's super boring, but it's also really cutthroat.
There's piracy in Eve, but it's brutal.
So our other third movie that we were thinking of doing was Captain Phillips. We were gonna laugh at that movie. Captain Phillips, and then the other one was Treasure Planet, the other Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah.
But Donnie, I'm so glad you pointed out Captain
Oh yeah,
Blood.
it was great. It's a good
I
time.
feel like I accomplished something by watching it. Like
you feel better about yourself. Like I watched an old movie.
You unlocked an achievement.
it did pop up above my head.
83-year-old movie. Watch. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
I think this might be the oldest movie I've ever seen.
It's the oldest movie we've ever done on the podcast for sure.
Yeah,
by
'cause-
by a long shot.
Not a
Wizard of
long
Oz was
shot. It's
39?
like 4 years older than Wizard of Oz.
Which is the oldest, yeah.
Don't even. That's hated that episode. That was the word. Have you seen The Wiz, Galindo?
Unfortunately,
It's horror. It's a nightmare.
it's worse.
It's bad, yeah.
Honestly, I do need to check my privilege being an upper middle class white guy. Saying that The Wiz is garbage. I feel bad saying that now.
no, it's
but
like waking up in the middle of a,
like a fever dream.
no, what was it last episode?
Sleep
paralysis.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
It is like that.
Okay, have you had sleep paralysis?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it the most horrifying thing in the
Another
world?
one here's never had it.
I would rather have it every day than watch The Wiz again.
100%.
What if you wake up with sleep paralysis and the whiz is on and you can't do anything?
The Wiz
You
is
can't
sitting
move.
on your chest.
I'm just trying to ease
The
on down
remote
this
is
road.
right by your hands,
I just
and you
want to ease on
cannot
down
move
the
to get
road. I cut you off about this. You can't win. That's so good, man. What if it was just the Michael Jackson scene?
Just a supercut of Michael Jackson. That actually be enjoyable.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong
that
with
was-
that.
And then
That literally
conversely,
the only good
what
thing
if
about
it
The
was
Wiz.
what if it was just Diana Ross?
Crying your eyes. I'm crying. I want to go home to my mansion. My brownstone mansion in Harlem. It's beautiful and 4 stories. And I probably live there rent free. But I don't have love. Yo ho.
Yeah, some
yo,
pirates.
ho.
Let's get back on track.
You're saying Black Flag. I'm sorry. You
Oh, I don't even remember what I was going to say.
just how great of a game it is.
Yeah, just how great of a game. All the locations and stuff that I was looking for. I was trying to figure out, did we ever go to Port Royal in the game? And apparently the game actually took place like a few years after Port Royal was destroyed.
Good thing. Spoilers for Assassin's Creed. Black Flag.
For a 5-year-old
10-year-old
game,
Yeah. I haven't gotten Red Dead Redemption 2 yet, and I'm like way behind already.
When it
And
comes out on PC, I'll get it. PC Master Race.
PC Master Race.
I have all of
Have
them.
to say it.
are you a Red Dead guy too? This guy has
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
It looks too much.
Jump on the train.
It looks too much.
Yeehaw. So yeehaw and yo-ho all mixed in. But I super enjoyed the movie. He really, really comes up in this movie.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
has
yeah.
The only thing,
Governor of Port Royal.
the only criticism I'd have is that there's not really character growth for him.
No, because he's a good guy at the beginning.
He's
Yeah.
perfect all the way through.
And
He's
that-
just always going to do
okay,
the right thing. He's going
so-
to stand up for what he believes in.
I read about
He never
that.
breaks.
I think
read
that's
it.
that's like Errol Flynn's got a writer. Like, I'm just always the fucking best.
Well, no,
And it says that exactly.
Yeah.
Verbatim.
So what this was it's supposed to be the unbroken man. And that's what a lot of these movies had. And so you're not going to see character growth. You're going to see someone at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let life get them down no matter what, because this is Depression era.
I was going to say, it was
And
Depression
so-
era,
but
and it
that's
was
what it's
like war
called.
era. So maybe it was like, we need these
exactly
movies to really like strengthen the backbone
That's
of
what it
America.
was. It was on purpose. So like even the whipping, like he's just like, nah, whatever. I get whipped in the stomach. No big deal.
Yeah. Hit me harder.
I'm just amazed at like how clever the dialogue was.
Snappy. And the
You
score.
amazed that humans were that smart back then?
Yeah.
We just think they were like troglodytes, right?
I get that they were
Digging in
able
the
to
dirt.
like commit like film, and like actually
But
create
actually have snappy dialogue.
cinema, but writing well. Yeah, that's nuts.
I do understand what Donnie's saying.
Because Shakespeare was
because-
terrible, right?
No, man, but like
Fucking chump.
no, but Donnie's right. Like if you watch like television from that time or other movies, it's just it feels like they're filming dinner theater sometimes.
This was like Kevin Smith dialogue.
While other ones are Kevin Costner style dialogue. I need you to find a piece of wood about this wide and this tall and stick it up your butthole. I like this movie. The film score was incredible. It just,
Little bombastic, but that was the style at the time.
exactly. Yeah. I did like the scene when the Spanish, the pirates were waving out, and it was obviously when they were shooting at them, there was just little guys, little dolls in a boat.
Oh,
and
yeah, when
just
they were blowing up the boats
Yeah.
that were coming
with the
back to the
cannonballs?
ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks. Okay, how did they get the treasure on? Because they were rowing back with the treasure. There was a slight plot hole in an 83-year-old movie.
Did they get that treasure, or did they go find new treasure?
No, they got that treasure because remember the uncle says the colonel says like, "Oh, cool, you have my treasure."
He goes on board to like congratulate them.
Yeah.
What gigantic brass balls that colonel had! Gigantic cannonballs. Just like, oh, cool. Well, if you all come back, I'm sure we can work something out by shortening your.
Now that you guys have commandeered a Spanish ship, come on back and be slaves.
Yeah.
We'll give you an extra bowl of gruel as a reward for securing my
You get time
treasure.
off for good behavior.
But he said it straight face too. Like, oh, y'all come back now. Well, you hear?
He's used to owning folk, so
Gosh, yeah. The niece.
You got it.
I got this. Yeah, the niece was a little like, oh hey, I own you. I own you, but you should be grateful.
Right. And I like the turnaround later on when he like paid for her and she's so pissed.
way more too. She paid £20 for him. He paid 10,000.
And fought a man to death.
And killed Levasseur.
Yeah.
So Basil,
And she's just so pissed.
Basil Rathbone,
That's the coolest name ever. Basil Rathbone.
who plays Sir Guy in Robin Hood. Like a lot of the people in this movie were in like all these movies.
It's like, it's just the way it was back then. There was very few actors
Yeah.
and like they just were they were just the studio players.
That the studio system did create that. Like you just had like, oh, these people all just use John Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, these people just use Errol Flynn.
And if a different studio wanted John Wayne, they had to probably pay through the teeth to get him over to their studio. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they don't make The Wiz again, I'm good. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
It's good.
You don't need to scalp your own father to hear this quickie with Big D.
Cutthroat Island. Frank Langella exemplifies subtle, quiet menace in this grittily realistic maritime drama.
I
On the outside, this movie sucked. Yes, we get it. But Frank Langella, this was
Langella.
another
Ever
scene.
not awesome?
Right, exactly. He was so awesome. There was a lot of good components. Gina
Yeah.
Davis was doing her best to ruin this movie.
oh my gosh, she was so bad.
Yeah, it's another situation, kind of like because we did Long Kiss Goodnight, where she was dating or sleeping with like the guy who makes the movie.
She was married.
to this guy. Yeah,
So both, they probably went on dates and they probably did sleep together.
he forced her on this movie. Like they could have got somebody better.
Rennie
Glinda,
Harlan.
have you seen? Yeah, it's Rennie Harlan. Have you seen Long Kiss Goodnight?
Apologies, but no.
Bro, it's good. It's a good movie, man.
It's worth it.
I'll put it on my list.
Especially just for Samuel L.
Yeah.
What was his name in that? Hennessy?
Yeah.
Hennessy. Oh my gosh, the movie was so good.
But about Frank Langella, he actually considers Dog to be in his top 3 favorite characters he's ever played.
With a
up there
W.
up there with Skeletor, and then playing Nixon.
I bet they were both a blast.
Yeah, because he says he knew like it was going to be one of those movies where like it was going to need that gravitas, and he could just.
Oh, he had them there, gravitas?
He could just-
Gravitas.
He could just chew the scenery all he wanted because no one was going
He
to stop him.
chewed the hell out
He
of it,
did.
too.
He was great.
Well, he was literally the only person that could act in this entire movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Matthew
Okay.
Modine wasn't bad.
Okay, Modine blew my mind for. I thought this was Carrie Elwes.
It's Papa.
He
Elwes,
does
I don't
look a lot like Carrie always in this.
I was sitting there
They
telling April, I
were
was like, oh,
100% going for that.
that's what they
Yeah.
were going for. So
Yeah.
I was like telling April, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool because we have a guy who played Robin Hood in this movie and then another guy who played Robin Hood in a different movie, right? I thought we had like some kind of synergy. And she's like, wait, what?
Was this like right after Princess Bride time
Oh,
wise?
Princess Bride was in the 80s. This is 95.
Oh, okay.
But I was totally wrong. But Matthew Modine was doing a pretty damn good
It's
Carrie
super
Elwes.
cool
Yeah.
that he survived long enough to start that government program to son orphans.
In the Upside Down.
Yeah, in the Upside Down. When we watched Stranger Things, which is much more fun to talk about than Cutthroat Island. Cutthroat? Okay, but no, I just didn't know what Matthew Modine had done, but I knew that people knew who he was.
Yeah.
I'd never seen him in anything but
I think
Stranger Things.
he was perfect for that role. He had that like little thin
did
wisp
a
of a
good job.
mustache.
He's in
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket, right?
I've never seen Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, I know that there's some angry things that are said by his sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
A little bit.
risk it.
So this movie is in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, for the bad thing. It's for the bad
For the
thing.
worst thing, yeah. This is the movie that has lost the most money of
so
all
much
movies in cinema history.
It's the
Wow.
It's so
Right?
yeah, and it deserved none of the dollars.
In a way,
I'm gonna ruin
go for
that
it.
section,
Yeah.
but yeah, it cost 115 million to make,
Yeah.
and total earnings were 10 million, so loss of 105 million dollars.
in a way, it's almost appropriate because with rare exception, most pirates like didn't do well and died horribly and penniless,
of the syphilis.
or the Royal Navy.
I actually contracted syphilis just to make this episode more realistic.
Yeah.
Guys, it's horrible.
2 of these movies had monkeys.
Oh, monkeys.
This one was named King James.
So the whole thing about this movie is it's Rennie Harlan, and I did more research for this movie than I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
And Rennie Harlan is the recipient of far too many Golden Raspberry Awards for Worst Director.
Yeah.
It's like everything that he does
Everything he touches.
is just slightly above Yui Bowl.
I was entertained. I mean, I've seen way worse movies.
What I would argue is that this is the most straightforward, like, piratey movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no magical elements. It was just straight up like, we're searching for treasure. We're blowing ships up.
But see, the thing about it is that pirates, in their nature, is as our personal knowledge of pirates, is that they're superstitious and like they believe in the supernatural and stuff. So like I feel like there being something supernatural in a pirate movie. Actually, no, Captain Blood is the straightest pirate movie. They're just straight pirates.
They're not that bad though. Like he has all those rules. They're not really like bad
They're
guys.
the good pirates.
Yeah. Like pirates got to be like lovable rogues. You know what I mean? They're bad. They're going to do bad, but you still love them. You know what I mean?
Parlay.
And I feel like in Captain Blood, he was just lovable. He's perfect. He's a perfect good guy.
Unbroken man.
Yeah.
Gina Davis is horrible.
She's bad. She's not a good actress.
Really, really, really
Every
bad.
line that she read, it just sounded like she like a child. Like, hey, here, read these lines.
And
It's
then
just bad.
Every so often they'd go in and out of pirate speak where they're like, lash it to me arm. But like she would say it.
Just straight English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'd be just like, lash it to my arm.
Yep.
No, it's me arm. Like, but then like you say that out loud and you're like, that sounds stupid. It's like,
the camera was on. We were rolling. Oh, we got that. Oh, I'm
and Rennie Harlan and his friend, it's good, babe. You did a really good job. And
There were some cool action sequences.
such as
The ride to get away after she buys
the carriage?
No,
Matthew Modine. Yeah,
that
when they
made-
steal the carriage.
I didn't like that scene.
I thought that was
How
great.
about she jumped out the window, she rolled out, broke through the window, rolled on that roof, and then lands on the carriage.
That is the whole time I'm watching. I'm like, so she's telling me that her running through and she stops a few times to like walk slowly. Is
Yeah,
gonna
there's no way she could keep up with those horses.
outrun
But
6 horses.
it's an action movie. It's supposed to be over the top.
So
she actually got hurt on that because
Yeah, I
she
did
did that
that.
stunt. Yeah, she went too early and she went under the carriage and got jacked
Buildings
up.
in Port Royal, actually, there's a shorter distance over the top of them than there is underneath them. So
It's like the Bernoulli's principle of
Yeah.
of a wing.
Warp space time.
weird Caribbean architecture.
Yeah.
And then
It's funny because like at Disneyland, you know that the way they
Yeah.
build the buildings to make them look really tall.
Yeah.
They change the ratio.
oh, super smart. No, it just was. I just the whole time like this is really
When
dumb.
she falls like right in the seat, we were both like,
Yeah,
that's
and then-
that's
well,
that
stupid.
final shot was a digital
But,
composite,
yeah.
but like she was actually trying that to nail it.
That was a cool. I thought that was a cool sequence.
I gotta give her that for actually going for the stunts.
Mine was then so one of the reviews I read about this is they said that because this is technically called an action comedy. Did you guys laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, left at it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Did anything that they said was like that's funny?
I want to say there were some bits of dialogue that I chuckled at. I can't name any off the top of my head, but
Because they were non-existent. But the whole thing was that it was the thing about it was that they think that it was funny in and of itself, and so they didn't actually write any jokes. Mine was how dumb was that ship captain that was firing on Port Royal? Did he think he was doing a really good job shooting at them? Like he's just best case scenario, he hits them. He still blows
He killed
up
dozens of civilians.
Yeah.
He didn't get who he
and
wanted.
blew up a port town.
Yeah.
and he just
his
like
port
Royal.
town that he was charged to defend.
and he's like my bad. That's basically what his face was. My bad.
Yeah.
He has the face that Galindo has on right now. Like, what did I get myself into? Is Chris gonna kill me?
Wah wah.
But I disliked this movie intensely. I did not. I didn't get that dog was her uncle until about halfway through the movie.
It was
Really?
a bit
Because he
confusing.
calls her dad his brother.
Yeah.
That was what clued me
Okay,
in.
I didn't hear him say
What was
that.
confusing to me is like how many brothers there were.
There were 4 brothers.
There was 4, in the end you figured out, but I
Yeah.
thought it was just like 2 brothers, and then it's like, oh, then there's a
I thought he
mysterious
said,
third brother,
I took it
and there's a
from-
mysterious 4th brother.
Yeah, I thought he said I took it from your brother.
She got her dad's scalp off real clean.
Real nice
Right?
too.
Yeah.
and like
Tanned it, and
Yeah.
that's mine. That was my thing too. Like this is in the tropics. That thing's rotting immediately.
Yeah.
And like, why couldn't you just copy it down?
He's a pirate though, so he's probably pretty salty.
He's been pickled from all the rum too. Yeah. It's just like you couldn't just for 2 seconds copy it to a piece of parchment,
Right.
or
take some of that wax paper and just like trace it or something.
Yeah. And you find the shield, the second marker. Yeah, there were rats, Dad. There were rats, big ones. Oh, Junior. Oh my gosh, Sir Sean Connery is in the room. Junior. Galindo, do you have any impressions? that
You are asking the wrong person to do anything but this beautiful voice.
Okay, do taco.
Oh God, I can't. I'm on the spot. I'm on a perspire now. I just can't. I can't.
Well,
Okay.
How about we move on to a movie that Galindo has seen and is familiar with?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good stuff. Anyway, I give this movie deserved all the hate that it got. It's a bad movie.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it was terrible.
Yeah, it was mediocre at best. It wasn't terrible. It was still fun, but
It's
what's funny is Gina Davis and Rennie Harlan they were trying to actually get out of this movie, but they were contractually obligated.
Well, no. So Rennie Harlan made Gina Davis do it, and then Gina Davis did not want to do it. It's supposed to be Michael Douglas, not Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas said, I have to have either the same or more screen time than Gina Davis.
Wasn't he already 90 at the time?
He was at least 100 years old. He actually, a little known, he was in Captain Blood. His dad probably was somewhere as an extra.
Yeah.
Now, I would say Cutthroat Island is probably 3 times as good as Armageddon and True Lies.
You, sir, are mistaken. The Arnold Schwarzenegger level strength that Gina Davis used, she was throwing humans. Like, I kill you last, and then just shucks. Like when she goes up to grab the guy off the carriage. This carriage scene is just like everything to me, too. It also might be as far as I got in the movie.
She was probably utilizing the tensile strength of her cleavage because it was like getting ready to snap at any moment.
Oh my gosh. But no, it's like she grabbed the guy and threw him. It's like they had to do some wire work because there's just no way that, anyway.
It's just like the first Matrix.
I know. It did say when some of my first Matrix, I did say that this basically destroyed her career as a bankable star.
I don't think she was going to have a long career as a bankable star anyways. I don't think she's been good
What's
in
with
anything.
all the Gina Davis hate?
She's just not good, dude.
She's really bad.
She's real bad.
Like she's as bad as
Like,
Kevin Costner.
real bad.
Like her and Costner, if they were in a movie, are they in a movie together?
I'd take Costner over Gina Davis.
Galindo, please look it up. Boy, yeah. Please look if Costner and Gina Davis are in a movie, because that had to be that would basically just be planks of wood staring at each other.
And stiffening no one's spine.
No one's spine. I'm a full mess. Let's move on. We're waiting for Galindo.
No, I'm good. I can't even type that fast.
We'll get the results in the next segment.
Yeah, okay.
It's good.
Let's parlay. Quickie with Big D. Parlay?
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Gore Verbinski coaxes a quirky $650 million performance out of Johnny Depp, while Tim Burton quietly weeps into his comically oversized bowl of Count Chocula.
My dislike of Tim Burton movies is known.
Yeah.
But gosh, when this movie came out, oh my gosh, it came out the same weekend as a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I remember seeing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and then Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, and it just made me weep for the other one.
I feel like this whole series kind of fell off the edge of the earth.
Absolutely,
in the end. But this movie was solid. This is a solid start.
I only would watch it like when my girls get of age, because it's a little creepy for them.
Yeah.
We started watching it and it kind of creeped them out. So I'm like, okay, we'll cut this back.
This is the one that I let my boys watch. They really enjoyed it.
Did they enjoy it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly it was my youngest, and so I couldn't watch it at the same time with both. So it's like, I'll just watch it later on. But this movie just proved that you could do pirates again.
I've only seen the original first 3. And only this one multiple times. I haven't even seen the other 2.
Which is true.
Again.
I agree. This one is head and shoulders ahead above all the rest.
They
of them.
all have like a magic element, but this one it was just enough. It wasn't too much. Like in the second
No,
one,
it's cursed gold.
the second one with Davy's lockers, like it was really cool
Very subtle
visually.
use of magic.
It was in the second one. It was really cool, like visually. The dude with all the tentacles and stuff.
Davy Jones.
But it was just over the top for me. This
Yeah.
one was like kind of fun because they were mostly in their pirate form, except for when the moon was out. You know, they turned into
Hello,
skeletons.
puppet.
I mean, everybody raved about how awesome Jack Sparrow was, and we're all kind of sick of him at this point. But
at the time,
it was a
Barbossa
cool
to me is the
character.
best.
Barbossa
steals the show. In my
Jeffrey
opinion.
Rush walks away with it for
Yeah.
me too.
I'm gonna eat a whole bushel of
I
apples.
love when she comes on and she's speaking, eloquently, and he acts like he doesn't understand her, and then he like
We'll just
responds,
be
with,
simple pirates here.
I'll acquiesce to your request. He says something really like
I
fancy.
decline to
Means
acquiesce.
yes.
What is it?
Yeah. He says, I decline to acquiesce to your request.
Yeah.
Means no.
Yeah,
No,
those
he's
lines so
incredible.
snappy are really good. He's a lot of fun.
Basically, the whole movie is just whether Barbossa, Barbossa or Sparrow's on screen. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Yeah.
is just like pretty wooden. Keira Knightley might have the most beautiful face in the world. She is so.
There's an argument to
Keira
use.
Knightley she's an enigma to me.
She's so pretty.
She fits into this category like
of beautiful.
no, she's undeniably beautiful.
I'm
She's
going to agree with
undeniably-
him. I think I know where he's going.
She's undeniably beautiful, but it
so
doesn't do it for
pretty.
me. Like there's
No.
just something that's just kind of off. I'm like,
No.
you know what I
So
mean?
there's something kind of
Now, here's
off
the thing.
What's,
in your brain.
Is it because
Maybe it is.
Is it because Orlando Bloom
But, like,
is
on
so
paper,
gorgeous?
no.
That's also true.
But like on paper, like if you had like I don't know, you just say she's a pretty woman, but just for me, it just doesn't do it.
Huh.
Something, maybe
I will
something in her
tell you,
teeth.
when Orlando Bloom came on screen and my oldest and my wife were in the room, they both went,
They started fanning themselves. Oh my! Like,
they just
like
said
Donnie's
a little,
wife's Errol Flynn
they
reaction.
said just a little
Yeah.
noise, both of them.
My wife had already seen Captain Blood, and she's like, "Eh,
Yeah, there you go.
he's a boy
He's too
compared
pretty
to
boy. Yeah.
the man that Errol Flynn is."
Hans Zimmer's score for this is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an incredible score. Definitely makes you feel similar to the Captain Blood and other that swashbuckling.
Yeah,
I would put this up there with like Jurassic Park or like Indiana Jones. Like maybe not on the same pedestal, but it's right under
It's
it.
really it's a fantastic score.
that's legit.
No, I agree. I totally agree. The Corey.
I'm just like
No, man. I agree. It's
no, Mike,
really good.
No,
Put it in
Jurassic Park. I mean, come on. That's in another world.
Like I said, it's like it's in the same category, but the low end of that category.
Put it in context too. Like, what a stupid movie made about a short like ride at Disneyland. All right, let's see what
they did a
do with
fantastic
this.
job. No, I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking this movie. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that like Jurassic Park is like top 10 of all movies ever.
When this came out, I would have put it in top 10.
Score wise, though, it's not movie wise. Score wise, I would put this in.
I loved every second of this movie.
15?
I really did.
Yeah.
Especially when this came out in 2002.
We're arguing the same thing. It's a great movie. I just can't stand for it being in the same category as Jurassic Park.
No, it's
I'm kidding.
you put it. You definitely can put it in the same category because
The good category.
Incredible first movie definitely falls off as the movies go on.
We saw this like as a family in theaters that summer it came out, and I was already in college at that point.
Yeah.
And like watching it again a couple days ago, just as fun. Like it didn't lose anything from me. Like just solid fun, like happy smile on my
Yeah.
face the whole
It
time.
does make me happy that Donnie likes something. It does. When I like something, I like it.
Apparently in the 90s, they were going to work on this movie in a different way. And so Steven Spielberg got a hold of it.
Do you know this is a ride at Disneyland?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So in the 90s, they were going to do that. They were going to convert it to a movie. Steven Spielberg was involved, and he wanted to get Bill Murray, Steve Martin, and Robin Williams to all play in the movie together.
I want
It
that
would be a
movie.
completely different movie, but it would have been so
yeah.
good, right?
But like that'd been so good. I would have watched the heck out of that movie.
Yeah.
But would they have just kept repeating the same day over and over and over again? Glinda, what did you think of our
Honestly,
our
like the
anniversary?
first couple of days, I text Corey. I was like, "Hey, something's wrong. Something's wrong."
That's right. Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go sit over here now. Yeah. put my dunce hat on.
And I was like subtly giving him clues, like, yeah, really, like, oh, it's weird that the times are different. You know, and he's just like, he sends me this emoji of like, his arms are up there, like, I don't know, I don't get it.
I think he screenshotted your text. That's so funny.
I was trying to lead him along, but I didn't want to spoil it for you.
So
I don't know if anybody who listened to all of them. There's some really funny stuff at the end, the last few episodes.
So David,
They went off the rails at some point. I didn't listen to all of them.
So you sped up our voices on one of them, which was hilarious. But you slowed down Donnie's, and so that's my favorite version.
I did not change
of it.
the timing. I changed the pitch.
You did, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you sped up. Sorry, I didn't do air quotes. We sound like chipmunks.
Because we would have ended the show like in 30 minutes, and he would have been like 2 hours.
But so Dave Morgan, newest Patreon supporter. Thanks, buddy. More shout out. Continue the shout. Morgan, you too. Yeah. Shout out. Continue the shout out. David had said that like he accidentally put us at half speed on one of our episodes with Cody. And he said, have you ever done that? And I'm like, no, like I
oh, it's hilarious.
And
so
I did.
As a kite.
It's just like this. You're crazy, man. So anyway, Home Trees put us at 50% speed right now
For that section, because now it's going to be slower.
It's gonna be like that's scurvy.
Sometimes at work, I'll listen to Radiohead at half speed, and
it's just too mellow. You like fall into depression.
I can attest to that.
There's some associative stuff that happens there, and I get like, oh shit, the boss, act natural. Keep it cool, man.
Did you have your EPUFfer 9000 out too? You really shouldn't do that indoors at work either.
Probably not.
How do you say her name? Is it Saya or Sia? Is it Saya?
The singer?
The singer.
It's
Sia, right?
Sia.
Sia? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard a cover. It randomly came on my Spotify, and she was doing Paranoid Android. And
Didn't I send that to you?
No.
Is that on the cover, Bill?
Yeah, it's on cover. It was on the most. Oh no, I showed my brother. Never mind. It wasn't you.
You know what, man?
I should have showed you.
You know, no. That actually means a lot to me that you would think of me in the same vein as your brother. Bros.
Confused you guys.
Check that picture I sent you of bros this morning.
Yeah.
it was awkward. I will send it to you too, Donnie.
I'm at work and I was like, not safe for work.
Not safe for work. But anyway, it was incredible. I really enjoyed it. I hadn't heard it before.
Well, I mean, there's nothing she can do that's terrible. Like her voice is just
pipes.
amazing. That's early Sia. That's like way back before she was anybody.
I actually saw her in concert when
Really?
she was still doing.
Accidentally?
No, sorry, Coachella.
He's been to Coachella.
You don't say.
I'm sorry. I've been to Coachella.
I've not heard this story at least 20 times.
I've been to Coachella 4 times.
Wow, you actually got tickets? You're that important to get tickets to that?
Well, he went to Coachella before it was like a big deal.
Yeah, before it was a
he's
big
like OG Coachella.
I went to Coachella before it was 2 days.
Is that
two,
like
two weekends.
Is that like a tourist town, or what is Coachella?
Yeah, it's a tourist town, and just randomly music people show up. Yeah, just like, and I say music people like
if you plan it, they will play.
See, that would be if it was if Kevin Costner did Field of Dreams, but it wasn't boring baseball. It was like like if all of a sudden Freddie Mercury came back and just did a show. Right, that would be amazing.
Actually, that's a really great idea for a movie. Like it'd be like a parody movie, but it would be really good.
It goes to Freddie Mercury.
The soundtrack would be awesome.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix comes out of nowhere. Yeah.
If anybody
Jim
can
Morrison,
match the bombastic energy of Freddie Mercury, it's Kevin Costner.
Costner. Yeah.
I really want to make this movie.
Morning,
Like this is such a great
up
idea.
At dawn, can't barely stand on my feet, and I will journal it. Take a look. Yeah, you guys see
Let
Bohemian
him
Rhapsody?
go.
Yeah.
Let him go. That was Kevin Costner singing parts of Bohemian Rhapsody. Never, 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 never.
Scaramouche. Scaramouche.
So keep Kevin Costner in the movie, and it's that Field of Dreams. It's Field of Dreams 2, and people realize that baseball
Stage of Dreams
sucks and is super boring. So you know what you do? You bring to Freddie Mercury, and I'm gonna sing backing vocals. Oh man, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. My favorite scene in the whole movie. It's still there's so many good scenes. It's when they're when they're looking through the spyglass and like Jack Sparrow's like jumping up and down, like trying to make Orlando Bloom like rig the boat, but really they're just going to swing onto the faster boat.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's just my favorite scene.
Yeah. But obviously, Johnny Depp did a great job with like this kind of original character that he came up with. He actually was afraid that Disney was going to reject his idea.
Interesting.
And tell him to tone it down. So he had these ideas to go even crazier. So like he had like twice as many gold teeth. He proposed having no nose and having like, these weird quirks. Like he was afraid of like salt and pepper and like the common cold and stuff. He knew they would reject it. So they like compromised and toned it down to where he's at, which this is exactly what he wanted to do.
He Hitchcocked it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
That's really good. It's incredible. It's an incredible character for sure. What they did wrong in the sequels, of course, is make him the main character.
Yeah.
He's best served as like the sauce.
Yeah.
He's the sauce, like the Barbossa. You don't want just a Barbossa
Season
movie.
for taste.
Yeah. You got to have incredibly bland Orlando Bloom being all hero-y.
I mean, Orlando Bloom at that time though was like the hot ticket. He's
Dude,
going
he
off
just did
Lord of the
Legolas.
Rings.
Yeah. Has he done anything?
Does he need to? No.
He's got all the money now.
I'm trying to think. Have I seen anything with him in it?
I mean, he's making money for the rest of his life off just 2 movies alone.
Yeah, they're going to play Lord of the Rings in syndication for the next 40 years probably.
I love Lord. Can we do Lord of the Rings?
We need like 4 weeks for that. Like we'd have to literally just say, "Hey, take a break. We're not going to get an episode for like a month." I can't watch.
Because we're watching extended versions.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
the only
watching
way to
full
watch
versions.
them.
I'm not watching anything less than that. So I can't watch like 3.5 hour movies.
Have your boys seen it yet?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will.
I watched the Hobbit trilogy with my oldest. 'Cause I'm like, that's basically
Sounds good.
No, here's the thing. It's basically a children's movie. It is. It really is. It's
just too silly.
It is exactly. It's very silly. She loved it. I'm like, I love you, baby.
I love the book. I read the book when I was in
let me
like
show
fourth
you
grade.
the real thing.
I would rather watch like the Rankin Bass, like
yeah.
1977.
Oh, those are good, yeah.
We have
1978.
it on VHS. We haven't watched it yet.
The
animated
Goblin
ones?
down to Goblin Town like is way better. It's got a funky bass line in that cartoon.
down
That was the most
Goblin
disappointing
Town.
part of the Hobbit trilogy for me was Goblin Town.
Yeah. But so for her, it's similar to her watching the prequels. Prequels are children's movies.
Yeah.
The Star Wars prequels, excuse me. I mean, I think most
Yeah,
people
we
know
all-
what
we all know what you're
I know
talking
it was. But the it's like she loves Jar Jar because also when she watched Jar Jar, she was 5 years old, who was the target audience. Anyway, so Pirates of the Caribbean, great movie, really enjoyable. So I like the monkey.
Keira Knightley actually
the
during
monkey
the.
Jack.
I was gonna say when they were actually filming.
Yeah.
Never mind. Done.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Good.
I'm agreeing.
Monkey talk. Monkey talk with Chris.
I'm agreeing with you.
Come on, monkey it up.
Done.
I was just gonna say, Keira Knightley, her ship while they were filming, one of the boats that was like ferrying her back, her and her mom, it actually struck a reef and sunk. Yeah, you're really interested. See, it wasn't worth it. I knew you were gonna ruin this.
No, please go on.
Chris is mimicking a monkey right now as he stares at me.
That's what a monkey looks like to you.
To be fair, he does that a
I
lot.
do. I basically am a silverback gorilla at this point in my life. It's actually
That's an
silver.
ape, not a monkey.
I have enough hair on my back to lash some sea turtles together. Mr. Gibbs is on. He's fantastic too. Mr. Gibbs, the whole thing. Aye.
It's one of the things
Stick
that
to the
really
code.
makes this movie great is you have.
Shut up, Galindo.
Dude, you don't get to talk when Chris is in the room.
Okay. Can I raise my hand? It's you have so many like B and C characters in this movie, and I'm really digging that. That this movie just
Sorry,
goes.
It's really late. I'm so tired.
It adds to the Johnny Depp, you know, the Jeffrey Rush. Like you have these characters that are good, but they need the B's and the C's support, and that's like the whole movie is nothing but B and C support.
There is so many like little like duos, like the two soldiers that are guarding the interceptor.
great.
They're hilarious.
the one with the wooden eye.
the two
and
guys,
his
yeah, that
partner.
like are like they always
Yeah.
they always have to do all the
Keenan?
shit work.
They get too much screen time in later movies.
Well, yeah, because they start doing the Laurel and Hardy thing. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we got to be funny.
Well, that's the thing is because like writers are like, oh, that really worked. Let's do more of that. No,
Yeah.
no, you had it just right.
Yeah.
The amount you did was perfect. Don't do more
Right.
of it. Don't do less of
yeah,
it.
everybody with those little bit rolls, like just nail them. Like,
Yeah.
That is why it worked, though.
There was even cool, like on like Barbossa's crew, just like the black dude with the dreads.
Oh, he
didn't
was
really
awesome.
have a lot of lines,
menacing.
but he just like had a really cool badass
He had
pirate.
he had the scars, tattoo, this tattoo scar.
The teardrops on his eye.
The teardrop. Like, it's like this is 1980s California. No. When you like prick your skin in a certain way and it makes like it's a pattern, but it's all
like the
scars.
Morgan Freeman dots.
Those are called freckles. You racist. Parlay.
What's parlay?
Whoever says parlay, but no. Then you also had
Norrington.
Norrington. Gosh dang, the guy.
I like that guy.
He's an honorable dude, and like he's not a bad guy at all. He's literally his job is to stop pirates.
Yeah.
And if you really break it down, pirates steal things.
That's what I'm saying. Pirates were bad people.
Like
they're not lovable.
Norrington is the good guy.
Yeah.
But it was really big of him at the end. Like, even though he did all of that, he risked his life, risked his crew to go save Keira Knightley. In the end, he's like, all right, well, she loves him. Like, that's not realistic. Like, he would have had Orlando Bloom.
He
would have still strung up.
No,
Orlando
you know what
Bloom
it was?
and took
Is
her.
that he knew. Like,
He is a Commodore. I mean, he's going to be swimming in like Caribbean poem
in
if he
doubloons,
wants.
in some doubloonies,
He's going to be drowning
Yeah.
in the pee.
the doubloons. It's a good
You're good?
movie. Yeah,
All
great
right.
stuff. Yeah. This episode is brought to you by WeAreDapperTies.com. We Are Dapper Ties is a company created by brothers Andrew and Julian who believe that feeling and looking great should be an affordable right for all. So whether you're wearing a suit and tie daily, heading to your first interview, an advocate of classy dates, or you just need good-looking ties, you need a Dapper Tie. Andrew and Julian have carefully curated beautiful designs to offer you a selection of knitted, elegant, unique, and affordable ties. Go to WeAreDapperTies.com and enter the promo code GOODER to get a free shipping on all your orders all over the U.S. Dapper Ties. Smart, affordable fashion. We've been marooned here for seems like for forever. But we don't want to use the one pistol, one shot, and everything. But we are clouded from exposure.
You could lick the moisture off my eyeball.
So I'm gonna lick the moisture off of Donnie's eyeball because I am so parched, like a lizard.
I am parched
I'll
and
allow
I
it.
am sick of it.
Objectively gooder. Home Trees, please give us a better segment than this.
Suggest anything. We'll do anything other than this.
If you give us a better segment than this, and like really put some thought into it, because like if it's even like at a C plus level, we'll take it. And
Tell us we'll delete this segment. We don't have to replace it. We'll just delete it if you guys want.
But it's like there needs to be something at the end.
Yeah.
Well, if you can come up with something better, we'll send you a dice bag. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And,
whoever comes with the best thing, it's a dice bag.
Captain Blood, Pirates, Cutthroat.
No. Yeah. So, Rotten Tomato. I went Rotten Tomato scores. So what do you think?
I'm gonna go Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Blood, Cutthroat.
What
he said? Captain Blood, Pirates, Cutthroat.
Yeah. What do you think, Galindo?
Chris.
I'm gonna go with Corey's.
Yeah. I think
seems appropriate.
Pirates of the Caribbean made all the money.
We have one of our only 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that Pirates
And
or Captain Blood?
Captain Blood.
Yeah,
100%.
that's
I think
fitting.
Wizard of Oz is 100% too.
The problem with those old movies is that like at that point it had been exposed to
There was no such thing as critique.
Yeah.
Only 7 people rated it.
well, it's just like when movies come out fresh.
All 7 critics of the land.
Pretty much, yeah. And so like everybody had seen it already and they knew that they had already loved it. It had already developed-
Extra, we got this pirate movie out there. I've never heard anyone speak in a movie before. It blew my mind. 4 stars.
Actually, at that time, most of the reviewers were like, well, I forgot that I was starving for like 2 hours, so 4 stars.
Thumbs up.
So what's the answer? What wins?
Yeah, Captain Blood, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really? That was.
And then did you think treasure
I thought maybe you got 101.
oh yeah. Yeah, no, it was 100%, 79%, 38%.
Okay.
Who are those 21% that didn't like Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl? Were they retroactively cursing it for the sequels?
Maybe. See.
And we talked about money. This shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean made all the money, $658 million, $654 million.
Yeah.
Off of only $140 million.
Which is pretty cheap for all the effects and stuff they had to do.
So much.
Yeah, this could have went the Waterworld way, where they got
Yeah.
That's
much
the
money.
thing is they actually thought it was going to because the last pirate movie was Cutthroat Island, and as we said before, lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And lost over $100 million. Destroyed lots of things. They basically made it look like Port Royal after everybody.
Well, I forget the name of the company, but the studio that was like financing that project, like basically went bankrupt because they lost 105. They were already struggling. They were banking on that movie, like making some money back for them.
Did you know they cut an Arnold movie called Crusade to make this movie?
Really?
So there was a movie called Crusade and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I didn't know Arnold was in it, but I did know that there was a second movie that they were trying to make, but they're like, all of our money is in this movie.
Yeah.
This one has to do well so we can do anything else.
Was it Arnold as like King Richard the Lionheart?
I don't know, but I want more than anything to know what this movie is. We go to Jerusalem to kill the things.
Infidel, in the name of our Lord.
And he just rushes. He rushes in. No. So and then, but the Captain Blood one is weird. It cost $900,000 to make, which seems really
a lot back then, right?
seems like
I
that's-
don't think that was $900,000.
That was all the money. That's why we had a
1935.
depression because all the money was tied up in that movie.
Yeah.
and it made $2.5 million, but it said off of rentals. $2.5 million off of rentals.
Yeah.
It's obviously this movie's older than my grandpa.
Yeah.
And so
Well, I mean, nobody had like apples or anything like that, but everybody had a VCR.
but it's true. But if you think about it, if it literally like at this point, movies did just cost a nickel. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like they were called Nickelodeons.
That's a lot of money for.
so like if you take that means that literally everyone saw this movie like 100 times. I'm being serious. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Everyone in the country saw it at least 50 times.
yeah, for a nickel. And then get some really crummy popcorn.
That might have been what helped us get out of the depression, like money circulating to see this movie.
I mean, you say that like you're joking, but I actually think you're like it's serious.
It's good.
We don't declare each other the winner here at MGT. That's for you at home, Galindo, who's still here, and the Twitter poll to decide. But we do think someone should win and lose, so we have gooder, badder, fugly. Corey, who's your winner?
Port Royal. Got a lot of exposure. It's a town that we don't hear about anymore.
And then
but
they
like,
died of exposure.
yeah, but it was very famous back in the day.
It's in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now we know about Kingston, man.
it's funny because I say Caribbean until I'm talking about these movies, then it's Caribbean.
Yeah.
Right?
And then there's that song that Caribbean Queen. They kind of like mixed the two of them. It's like both of them. They're saying Caribbean and Caribbean.
That's
Billy Ocean, if I'm
yeah.
correct.
Yeah. And the Commodores.
I don't know the words.
Actually, he says Caribbean.
Caribbean.
He says kind of
Queen.
like Caribbean and Caribbean like mixed. It's like it starts off with Caribbean or whatever. It starts off with
Song,
one and ends
yeah.
with another. Yeah. Caribbean Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So Port Royal.
You got a winner, Galindo?
Me for being here.
Yeah. You went meta and I like it. What about you, Don?
Olivia de Havilland.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. She did not get sold into a life of prostitution.
Yeah, no prostitution, but yeah, she gets the Flynn.
Gets the Flynn.
That's
And he's now governor. Like he's gonna be
Oh,
rolling in
that's
dough.
fine.
Yeah.
Captain Blood. That's my winner.
He's a doctor. Can keep her
is
safe and healthy.
in like
She won't get
Flynn.
scurvy.
Won't get the gouts.
Yeah. Yeah. She won't get gout.
Won't get the gouts. He's with his sweet blonde.
He probably knows some other like tantric secrets and stuff too. You know.
from his travels through India. Who's your loser, Gore?
Any wooden ship. Just primed to explode.
Oh my gosh, this completely wet ship is going to explode at any moment from fire. I mean, fire is a real problem on wooden ships, for sure. Why would you ever have anything?
Well, you got to have your cannons. They're going to explode into fire.
Yeah, but they're like shot that way. No, but they have like oil lamps and things.
Yeah, it's just what you had to.
I didn't like another thing I didn't like about, I keep wanting to call it Treasure Planet, Cutthroat Island, was when he tossed him the candle. Like a candle would have got, what's this magic candle? It doesn't go out when you chuck it at somebody. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I didn't like that movie. What was your, you had a loser, Galindo?
I haven't seen the all of it to appropriate an answer.
Okay.
So.
I'll let you slide. What about you, Don?
I watch all the movies and half the time I don't come up with one either.
Yeah.
My loser was Barbosa. Probably really the only competent captain in most of these movies.
That is something true. I cannot see that crew following Jack Sparrow at all. There's no way. Just this weird.
That's why they mutinied.
Yeah, I know. No, but like they were following him for a while.
They mutinied.
I know.
Like it was 10 years ago he lost that ship.
Yeah, how old was
Which
he?
just seems a little weird, the whole timeline.
Well, the problem is that
what was he doing all that time?
Well,
Why does he still call himself captain?
He's so.
Was he got captain for a day? Because like how old was Johnny Depp at that time?
He was in his 50s.
Well,
No, he was not.
The
No,
last
reject that.
movie, I think, adds the timeline into it where he gets like captained at like 18 or some
Does he's really
crap
young?
like that.
No,
yeah.
but I'm just saying that it does. The fact that Johnny Depp is almost ageless doesn't help this for timeline wise because he's
wearing a lot of makeup in this movie too.
Yeah.
So
a beautiful man. He really is. My loser is
no Errol Flynn, but
but who is really? Who's
Errol Flynn's not Barbossa. Barbossa's the best captain.
best captain. Yeah.
I don't know. Gina Davis did a good job. Say what you will about Gina Davis.
Dog
She's
is a
good.
close second to Barbossa.
Dog's got a sweet sword too.
Yeah, he might have been the most competent
his
captain. Though.
serrated cutlass.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
He might have been the most competent
I
captain.
really liked it when they had that crappy eel up in the. Oh my gosh, this movie is so stupid. This is so dumb. Who was your loser? Did you say it?
Yeah, Barbossa.
Barbossa. Yeah, mine was Gina Davis's career. They got
Davy Jones Lockhart.
Davy Jones Locker.
Well, coincidentally, Gina Davis is my fugly.
Oh, we went there.
Right there. I don't know why she's a star.
She's not.
I don't get it. Okay.
The answer is she's not.
I don't know why it was purported that she was a star.
Yeah, I know, right? Do you got any fuglies?
I would assume living on those ships,
Everyone had to
Just
smell so bad.
carrying your piss bucket up all those flights of stairs to
And the
walk
ship's
around.
shaking and then sloshing
Sloshing
around.
Oh, got some on my boot.
Oh, that wasn't all mine. That was a couple of the guys down there. We all peed in the bucket.
So the pee was actually used to wash certain things, but so you would have to pee in a bucket, and they would use it because it was just
It's sterile.
salt water. So they use it to clean things. But if you had a venereal disease, you were excused from that duty.
I guess it makes sense because if you're out on the open sea, you're not going to be able to find salt water anywhere.
Nowhere. Do you get a fugly?
I don't.
Just everyone's teeth in general.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't stand rotten teeth. And everyone,
That's probably what was going on back then. I mean, they didn't brush.
bunch of scurvy dogs, man. So, man. But I want to give a huge thank you once again. We are still, of course, recording in the Bakersfield Escape Room, the Crimson Storm Room. So much fun.
Yeah.
I just
Love
cannot express. We'll take some pictures, post them up online. We can't post anything that has spoilers for the room in it. So I think we're good at this point. But we just want to say a huge thank you to Robert and the rest of the crew here. Melissa, who's been our liaison online and everything. We just cannot be more thankful for giving us your time. But that is going to do it for us in the MGT Recording Bunker 4.0, 10.0.
The MGT recording hold? We're down in the hold?
MGT Crimson Storm. This is funny. This is only the fifth place we've ever recorded that's not been. That's right.
With the original bunker,
original
bunker
bunker.
2.0.
Your
We
room.
recorded at my house. We recorded at the Bakersfield Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah.
And then here.
Yeah. So 5, yeah. Good stuff. We'd really appreciate you rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the. No, I mean,
Nobody cares about that.
I got to leave it in because we laughed. We'd really appreciate you rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the podcast on the Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen. If you think you know anyone who'd like our show, tell them about us. Please follow us on Twitter at MGT Podcast. We're on Instagram and Facebook at More Gooder Than. Email us at moregooderthan@gmail.com and visit our website, mgtpodcast.com, where you can support us via Patreon, like our great and powerful sponsor, Nan. The Mother Flipping Galindo is there, and the rest of the Sacred Grove. While you're there, you can buy a nice
Gold tooth.
Right? We sell gold
Donnie's
now.
on it.
With our logo on it from our merch page. The MGT logo designed by Mary Madewell, Home Tree logo. I've only said that 121 times.
Yeah.
Don't know why I can't do it now. Designed by Dan Nicholson. And of course, we're proud members of the Podfix Network. Follow us on Twitter at Podfix and podfixnetwork.com to see the full lineup of shows, including my weekly NFL recap show coming out every Wednesday on Podfix Presents. So thanks for joining us, helping us escape boredom. That's bye from me, Chris, and Corey.
Later.
And Donnie.
See ya.
And Galindo.
Later.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.